How do you feel about being LDR? You getting a little emotional this morning? Who's going to have a tougher time, you or me?
And today I'm kind of sad. When I get to my family, I'll be fine.
This tough provincial Filipina can't walk the 3-minute walk. That brings back memories of when we had to do that.
It's been a long time, like since we're doing this.
Foreigner loves
Filipina! I've never like watched sunset in my life. Unless if like, I think the first time that I watched a real sunset is like when we went to Palawan.
Really?
Yeah, I told you.
You live out here on these islands? And
I always like in my house, and then just school, then house, school, house.
I will say that's the thing that's funny about Filipinos. You live in the most beautiful area, and you live on islands, 7,000 islands, but none of you know how to swim. Nobody knows how to swim.
I know how to swim.
Well, you know, but most Filipinos don't know how to swim.
I know.
And then you have these great sunsets. Oh, I've never seen a sunset in my whole life. It's like,
Yep.
it's just hard to believe sometimes. It's like,
When we
I'm like, I think you're joking.
Yeah, when we get outside the house, it's already like 9 in the morning. No, I'm just talking when we get up. That's why we don't see we don't see anymore the sunrise, because like when we get up, it's already like around 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. It's already whole.
Well, I understand that on a day-to-day basis, but you never go somewhere and watch the sunrise. I guess you guys don't really travel anywhere. Like you don't go on vacations. Like Americans are going to go on vacation. They're going to watch the sunset or the sunrise
When
at
we
the
go
beach.
when we go vacation, we just go to our, like, for example, my dad's. He has a sibling that live in a Tacloban. We just go there for like 3 days, and then that's it. It's like kind of like it's not really like we go to the beach, we go. But then, like, if you live in a city and then you have like really like a lot of money, and then like you're a celebrity or something like that, they tend to travel to Hong Kong or like in Palawan, where there's like a nice tourist spot here in Philippines. They go there, but the local people, they normally like don't do that. They just like go to the local beach, like what my mom and dad, my family always used to do. They just go to the local beach. So yeah.
So it's our first morning here in Biloran, which is Melanie's home island. We got here about 8 o'clock last night. We surprised her parents. They didn't know we were coming. So tell me, babe, what did you think about last night? Surprising everybody. What was your feeling about everything?
Yeah, so this trip is like surprising my family, so they didn't know that we're coming here. So it really turned really good, really went good, right, baby? My family, my dad and my mom, they're so happy. I thought they're gonna be upset, like, oh, why you didn't tell us, so that like we're ready or we're prepared. But they're so happy to see us. They didn't expect. And my dad is kind of like sad, because I've never called them a home anymore. Like I used to like message or even like text them, how are you guys over there? But I just like really like want them to miss me, I guess. And then now like they're really like happy to see me. So see, it works, guys. I didn't message them for like a month. And so my dad told me, why you didn't call us? Why you didn't text us? See, so now, I mean, I felt guilty, but I feel like it's
You shouldn't play games.
Yeah, it's a surprise success. But I'm not gonna do it anymore. I told Daryl when I woke up in the morning, babe, I don't think I'm gonna do the surprise visiting anymore. But it's nice that you get so excited to see the reaction, but I don't think I'm gonna recommend it to you, because it's
Well, first of all, and I'll put the video in. So the timing wasn't great, so we get to her village and they had a brownout, unexpected brownout. I think it only lasted an hour, but it just happened to be the hour we were there. And the lights eventually did come on, but when we're doing the greeting, there's no lights. And so that wasn't great. And then, because they didn't know we were coming, it was just her mom and dad, her brother Cecirio, and Darcelette, one of the girls.
one of my niece.
But nobody else is there, because obviously they didn't know we were coming. So we'll get to see the rest of them today, and then we're going to give out the gifts today. We're going to give out the T-shirts that we mentioned in episode 4, I think it was. We did get some T-shirts made that I think really turned out nice. And as far as, I kind of shared on episode 4 that I wanted to do these T-shirts that have the American flag and the Filipina flag, and it says "Someone in America loves me," and it has, the love sign. But when I looked at doing them in America, they were $35 a shirt, and I thought we needed 9, we needed 11. There's 9 nephews and nieces, and then we also wanted to get one for her mom and dad, so we bought 11 shirts. Well, we ended up having her sister Mercy, that lives in the Manila metro area, get them. We ended up getting all 11 for like $40. For us doing one in America for $35.
See, if we got that in America, $40 is only maybe for one T-shirt.
Yeah. So it was just amazing the difference. Plus, we didn't have to ship them. We didn't have to carry them here. So we're going to give those out, and then of course we have candies, and we have colognes and perfumes, and we got beads for the girls. I mean, Christopher, there is one. Well, there are 3 nephews, but 2 of them one's a baby, one's, Justin is 7, but I'm not sure what he's really interested in. Poor Christian, we end up always buying gifts focused more on the girls because he's normally the only boy here. Yeah. But we got them beads where they can make jewelry.
They're like it.
So I think we're excited to see how they like that. And then I'm also going to fly the drone today, which I'm guessing they've never seen a drone fly. So we're going to do that. But we going back to the surprise part, kind of her not recommending it because they didn't know we were coming. Of course, they didn't know we were coming. So they've got other things planned today and over the next few days, where her dad is painting the roof today, I think.
And then mom is doing the coconut that we have, our business. And Brother Michael is gonna work in the land that we just bought. So they're just so busy.
We're gonna see if we can film some of that. But we're kind of hoping to take them to the beach today, but we're not gonna be able to do that. And then we found out on Monday they got to go drive into Naval
to deliver
because her parents, they have a coconut business. They got to make a delivery into Naval, which is the closest city, on Monday. So Monday though. Who does that? Does your mom and dad do that?
Just my mom.
Okay. She just goes by herself?
But then,
how does she get there?
So she, we have this here, we call like jeepney or like a bus, something like that. But normally we rent a small truck to put all the coconuts there, like maybe like 50 pesos of coconut sacks. And then my mom will get in there also with the driver, and then they'll take it to Naval. Okay.
So tell me about your conversation with your mom and your dad. Of course, they're speaking Visayan. I will say, I'll comment real quick. One thing I thought was kind of funny. We met her sister and a brother-in-law in Manila. We flew them down to Tacloban with us, and then they've got a baby, and so she needed to find some milk for the baby. So they all went into what do you call it, a J&R store?
Yeah, G&F department store. A lot of Filipinos know that store because we have that also. I think in every.
So she went in there to try to find milk, and when they came back out, I couldn't understand, because they were speaking Tagalog, but you can always pick up a little bit and kind of get at least an idea of what the subject is. And I heard Brother Gerald talk about discrimination, and I'm like, and I picked up something about Tagalog, and I said, oh, was there discrimination because he doesn't speak Visayan? The local language here is Visayan, and he doesn't know Visayan. He knows Tagalog, and he was apparently trying to talk to the lady at the register in Tagalog, and obviously she knows Tagalog, but she wouldn't speak it back to him. She would only speak sign back to him, and he was kind of upset about that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny because, in
It
America.
was really funny. I've never heard my brother-in-law complained
Yeah.
when he said that. Like he feels like a discrimination in that store. I was like, oh, okay, why? And then he started explaining it. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, and it's interesting as an American because obviously our perspective on discrimination is so different given our being a multicultural country, where obviously there's been real racism. I don't think there's anywhere near the racism that the media wants you to believe today, but obviously we have a history of racism. And, you come here where it's not multicultural. In fact, when I sat in the car when they went out inside, and there wasn't a single Westerner the whole time I sat there. And so it's all Filipinos, but they can still feel discriminated against, in a different kind of way than what we're used to in America. But I thought that was interesting.
But that's the first time I heard someone that says they feel discriminated.
Yeah, I thought that was strange. So tell me about your conversation with your mom, your dad, because obviously I couldn't understand most of it.
My dad, I was not expecting with my dad. He was like very talkative. He was like very happy. And I don't know. It just like makes me happy too. Like seeing them that they're just happy that they see us with Darrell. So even if my dad doesn't speak English, but he like respect Darrell. So I like that.
Yeah, she was telling me this morning how happy she was just seeing her parents so happy and seeing her dad so happy. And of course, I don't have a reference point to really know how happy he is.
Yeah, because he we're talking our language, so Darrell doesn't like. I mean, I tried to translate some, but not
but your dad's pretty stoic, and he doesn't really say or do much, so it's a little hard to tell. But he was smiling, and I don't think he's normally a big smiler.
Yeah,
you could tell your mom was really happy, and particularly to see
Jaden, my nephew,
the
so
nephew
happy.
they've never met. It's a grandchild of theirs they've never met. You could tell, particularly
your
mom was so happy to see you.
Because my dad like really wants to have a grandkid, which is like a son, not son, a boy, because we have a lot of girls in here in our family. I think I have 6 nieces, and then I only have 1 nephew here, and then I have 3 nephews now in Manila. So yeah, it's like I think they're just like happy to see also like my sister Mercy, because it's been a long time like since they visited the Biliran, or like my mom's.
Yeah, Gerald said he hadn't been here in 7 years.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
So it's a really long time.
And I think Mercy said it was like 4 years,
I think
right?
4 years, yeah. So
it was good to see that they were so happy. I tell you, the thing that amazed me is they had Gerald. He was laying on the floor, not laying. He was sitting on the floor, and her mom was sitting in a chair right next to him. And he started to fall back, like he might fall over.
The baby.
He
was talking
and
to the baby.
her mom was like, what, 65 or something? But you wouldn't believe how fast she was in there to stop him. He ended up not falling. He just kind of rocked. But I was like, man, I mean, she's very spry for a 65-year-old woman. I don't think 65-year-old American woman would move like that. So I was like, wow.
Yeah. I'm just like happy that both of my parents they don't smoke. I mean, they do drink, but not like every day. They're not like, everyday drinker. They just drink when their customers visit them, or like when there's like a coconut delivered in our house. So yeah, that's why maybe they still look good even in their senior citizens day or life. So yeah, we're gonna show you again, because I know last night Darrell took a video of the surprise, but it's like dark because the power went out. So today it will be nice because it's day that we can really see how my mom's look and how my dad looks. So you will see that later.
We'll get to see the other girls. And
yeah,
I think today will be a lot of fun.
a lot of fun.
Because you can tell her dad takes a lot of pride in his home. I've always, I mean, from the very first time I visited, I could tell that your dad takes a lot of pride in his home, and he should. They built a very nice house, and he's always, seems like he's always doing something. Every time we go, there's something new.
Yeah.
He's kind of opposite of me. You know, I'm kind of like, I don't want to. There was a time I really loved doing house chores, and I love fixing things up, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I want as little of that to do as possible. But
Yeah. I think because like my dad used to be a carpenter when he's still young, so
oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
yeah, he's a hard. How do you that one live? Like a handful boy, a young, you know, like do a
handyman,
lot of handyman. Yeah, he's a handyman. Like he did everything. Like even like fixing.
Good morning.
Even fixing the electricity.
Doing great. We're enjoying your property. You always throw this out.
That's the owner.
So we arrived in Melanie's home barangay around 8 p.m. We parked in the basketball court that's at the center of the barangay and snuck over to the house. Because they're having a brownout, we were using our flashlights off our phones to try to light the way. It made it feel more clandestine, like we were Marines storming a beach. Cesario, their oldest brother, is the one that answered the gate.
It's Brent. Oh, sorry.
Mercy is Melanie's closest sister, both in age and relationship. They talk regularly when we are back home in America. Mercy is the second youngest, while Melanie is the youngest. Cesario is Melanie's oldest brother. Cesario is the one that now takes care of a lot of the business work, takes for the Sorry store. He's quite quiet. Once a bunch of activity begins, he tends to fade off into another room. Mama is a sweet woman that is often seen smiling. She loves to cook. There's always something good to eat in the house. You also see her off cleaning, whether it's doing the laundry or sweeping the courtyard. And she loves the garden. She has both flower and vegetable gardens. Darcy is one of the two youngest children of Melanie's brother Michael. She is a twin. Her twin sister Missy is not there this evening. She's the only one of the 6 girls there this evening. We'll meet the others tomorrow, and you will get to meet them in the next video. Jaden is Mercy's youngest son. This is his first time visiting back to the homestead of the family, and his grandmother and grandfather will be meeting Jaden for the very first time today. You can see how happy Mama is to see Jaden. She's never met Jaden before. This is their first visit home. So Melanie's mom and dad are very excited to see Jaden. Gerald is Mercy's husband. Gerald and Mercy live in the Metro Manila area. Gerald works for Grab as a delivery person, which he told me he very much enjoys much more than working in the restaurant business that he had done previously. Here you see the girls doing mano, which is a gesture of respect that Filipinos do to elders, where they take their hand and bring it to their forehead. Then there's Papa. Papa is the patriarch of the family. Papa has been very successful in building a Sorry store, a piggery, a coconut business, and a rice business. And he's been able to take his family from a bamboo hut with dirt floors to a very nice concrete house, concrete floor, very spacious. And the home he's built has become the homestead for the entire family. The whole family celebrates and enjoys the surprise. Papa and Mama seem quite surprised.
Justin is Mercy and Gerald's oldest son. He does have autism, which has slowed some of his development, and social settings like this can sometimes be a little overwhelming for him, but he is a sweet, sweet boy.
Because last year, you know, I came here first before Daryl. I came here a week before Daryl, and we just like go somewhere else. I took the kids in Tacloban. We stayed there for like a night, and it's just a lot of going on that I feel like I don't have time really like to talk to my mom and dad and
Well, you were trying to spoil everybody.
I know, like,
So she took him to a water park in Tacloban, and then I don't know where else you went, but you were gone several days, weren't you?
no, we went to Busay Falls
Busay
with
Falls.
no mom, and I don't know, it's just like I feel like it's a lot going on. And when Daryl came, it's still the same because you know I was away in the house already because I was with Daryl on the Airbnb. This trip is gonna be a different. I don't want to go anywhere else except the house.
Well, that's what she says now, guys. I'm kind of wondering. I think Melanie's become a little bit Americanized.
Why?
Because I'm not sure how well you're going to do without air conditioning. I'm not sure how well you're going to do with that cold shower. I'm not sure how well you're going to do with it just sleeping on the floor.
Not sleeping on the floor. We have the bed.
Well, you have a mattress, but I don't think it's really a bed, right? I mean,
Yeah, we
a
have
mattress
one.
on the floor.
Mattress and we have this like.
You got a bed
this,
frame?
yeah,
Okay.
bed
I didn't
frame.
think there was even a bed frame.
Yeah, we just sleep on in a floor if we have a lot. But then you know.
And
No, I think I can do. I did it. I did it last
Wi-Fi.
year.
And Wi-Fi won't be all that good either there.
And it will be okay.
I mean,
because
there is Wi-Fi, and we used to video chat. That's how we video chatted for 3 years. But it was very spotty and very on and off, and I don't know how much better it's gotten since. But anyhow, I just say that
darling.
she's gotten a little Americanized. You know what? Right before we sat down for breakfast, I told her I was going to drop her off at the end of the street rather than take her right to the door of her parents' house for two reasons. One, it's a very narrow street, and yesterday I almost scraped and there's concrete walls along the side on a part of it, and I almost scraped the side of the car on it because people park their motorcycles everywhere, and you're trying to get around the motorcycles. And every year I've rented a car, I've scraped it, or my son scraped it last year, and then I got to pay some damage fee. I really want to avoid that this year if I can. So that's reason one. But then reason two is I said goodbye to everyone last night, and I don't really want to go through that again. It's always hard to do two goodbyes. So I told her I would drop her off at the end of the street. I mean, it's literally like a 3-minute walk.
Well, first
And
thing,
she's like, "Wow, I don't want
here's
to do
the
it."
reason, guys. I have 2 backpacks. The other backpack is like, you know, a little bit heavy, and then the other thing is like it's very steep, so I need to like pull it up. And I asked him if I can just let my brother Christopher to pick me up, since he's still not, you know, it's still the same, right? So I should have better like let my brother Christopher pick me up then.
Yeah, this tough provincial Filipina can't walk the 3-minute walk. Now she can walk to our restaurants that are even further away back home. We have.
But because I don't have luggage, guys. I don't have luggage. I don't have something in my hand.
Well, maybe I'll walk up with you and I'll carry the luggage or something.
No, you don't wanna see.
Hmm?
No, it's
So anyhow, I think my tough Filipino wife who can do anything has become a little soft.
bad.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see whether she can still handle it or not.
I can handle. What are you talking about?
Huh? We'll see.
I can stay in my mom's house. I can handle with no air conditioning. I can handle with no hot shower, but holding this luggage with very steep road is not a good idea.
How do you feel about being LDR for a week?
Never. I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I don't know, you're acting a little weird today. I love you. I'm gonna miss you. Uh-huh. You getting a little emotional this morning? Huh? Yeah, that's what I kind of sensed. Uh-huh. Yeah. You're not your normal chatty self today. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed going and just sitting with the kids. I don't know, Michael's girls I've always felt particularly close to, and it was fun sitting there with them. Shalette was picking on me. Shalette seems to be the most comfortable with her English. Michaela is Michaela just quieter, or is she not comfortable with her English?
You said Gillette is the most comfortable.
She's the most comfortable. Michaela doesn't seem to say as much, but I thought it was funny. Like last night, one thing, and I don't know if everyone's playing a game on me here or what, but for the last 2 weeks, all I keep hearing is that Filipinos always want to know where you're from, and they want to know your age. So, in the last 2 weeks, I couldn't tell you how many times by just a cashier or some person we meet somewhere asked how old I am. Last night, the lady at the restaurant asked how old I was. I said, I'm 58 years old. Michaela's like, 58? You look like you're in your 60s. And she was just, joking and kind of, which I thought was great, that she has that sense of humor and that she felt comfortable, joking when it's not your primary language.
Michaela or Gillette?
Gillette. But then the lady at the desk, she goes, no, she goes, you look like you're in your 40s. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard, you look like you're in your 40s. Which I don't think I look like I'm in my 40s. So I don't know what the difference is, but it does seem like here people think I look a lot younger, which in America I don't look younger than my real age. But I think it's a wrinkle thing, because they're always like, well, you have no wrinkles, you have no wrinkles.
Oh, they said that?
Well, I've had several people say it. The lady last night didn't, but I've had several people say, well, you have no wrinkles for that age. But, I've never had a job where I was out in the sun all day, like a lot of Filipinos do.
I do.
Yeah. You don't have any wrinkles. But I enjoyed that dinner, although the food wasn't very good. The one thing for sure, guys, is when you come to Philippines, don't try to eat American food. That's a lesson I learned. Now, last night they ordered everything, and we were literally, there was only one restaurant we could eat at, because we actually went to get barbecue and they were closed for some reason. So she went inside and ordered while I was outside with the kids, and they ordered burgers, which I knew instantly this isn't going to be good, because unless you go to a restaurant owned by a foreigner, or if you're in a major city, you can certainly get good burgers, very good burgers. But if you're out here in the province, you're not going to. I mean, the burger was like this thin. It was kind of like "Where's the Beef?" the old Wendy's commercial, where you open, there was a giant bun, and you open. I should have taken a video of that. I always think of it after you open. There's this tiny little patty like this, but the bun's so huge, and so that wasn't good. And then she got me pizza as a backup, because she knew I probably wouldn't like the burger. Of course, the pizza was terrible. Now, I've had really good pizza in the Philippines, but only in like major cities or the tourist areas. Not out here. You're not going to get. So when you're out in the province, eat their food. And their food is really very good. Filipino food, I think gets a bad rap for some reason, and I think it's because it doesn't look good. I mean, a lot of the Filipino food looks disgusting when you see it. You're like, oh my God. Or if you hear what the ingredients are, don't ever ask what's in it. I mean, just don't ask. You don't want to know. But if you just eat it, it tastes very good. It's very flavorful. Anyhow, the food was not, I don't know how it got on that whole rampage. That wasn't the whole point. But if you're in the province, eat Filipino food.
So the paklay that my mom made, you know, a lot of Filipino know what is paklay is. It's like a combination of blood, pork intestine. It's a pork blood, pork intestine, pork liver, things like that.
I didn't know it was pork blood too.
I don't think my mom put pork blood in it, but I think yeah, sometimes when they did paklay. But I think mom, what she put in there is just the pork intestine and pork liver, I guess. And he likes it. He ate almost.
It was good. I mean, it wasn't. It's not something I'd order in a restaurant, you know. But it was way better than it looked. It looked disgusting, but it tasted quite good. I mean, like I say, it's not. And obviously, in someone's home, I'm going to take what they give me, and I'm not going to complain about it. But it was actually.
And then I brought
good.
him chicken soup. You like it? Do you like that chicken soup too? With the papaya on it. And yeah, he ate it. So.
What's wrong, babe? Who's going to have a tougher time this week? You or me?
You.
I am. I think so. 'Cause I'm not surrounded by family.
Like maybe today it's me, but when I get to my family, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. It was funny because last night I jokingly said to the girls, make sure you take care of mommy because she's going to really be lonely this next week with uncle gone. And I can't remember if it was Missy or Darcy.
It's Darcy.
Darcy goes, she won't miss you.
She won't cry.
She won't miss you. She won't cry.
Yeah, if I'm around with my family, I'll be like, you know, more happier because I'll be around with them. And today I'm kind of sad that, you know, me and Dara will be like in a different direction.
Well, it brings back memories of when we had to do that, but it was for a long time.
It's been a long time, like since we're doing this, like but maybe when I get to my family, like you know what Daryl said, I'll be fine. I'll have more energy with them.
You can focus on them, you know. I think it's good. I want you to be able to do that. Particularly your mom and dad. You need to focus on your mom.
Dara will be jealous because we're going to Busay Falls. And he didn't able to visit the Busay Falls this year, so
yeah, I never made it over there. That's okay. We've got the
but we'll see what we do because you know my sister Mercy wants to see the Busay Falls too because it's already new and she's not been there yet since they were renovating the falls there close to our village. So
yeah, it's a waterfall that's real close to her village. It used to be rather remote where you know you had to kind of know the path to get back there.
Yeah.
And it was a place they could walk to from their house.
Yeah.
It has in recent years the road's been extended back there so you can get to it much easier. And I guess someone bought land. I don't know. But they put it's now called Hidden.
It's a tourist hidden resort.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still up in the mountains. I mean, you have to know. You're not going to drive by the highway and see it.
Yeah, I'll take a video and then I'll let Daryl like you know make it like the whole thing.
Make it a whole thing. I'm going to make it a whole thing.
And there's like a 20 pesos entrance fee, which is you know it's reasonable. And yeah.
I liked it better when it was more of a mystery walk back there, but now there are places, there are pavilions and stuff like that to you know, if you want to take a family, have an outing or something.
Maybe I'll take my family there, but I'm sure mom and dad will not be going. We'll see. We'll see what we're wanting, you know. But as I say, I'm not going anywhere else far away from our village. I'll just spending time in my village with mom and dad. And let's see how I feel. I feel like it's gonna be like, you know, nicer than just go. Since like Dara already took my family out all the time. So we went to Sambawan. We do the Biliran tour, like, you know, getting around Biliran. What else we do, baby? We went to the Lakit Beach, just right there
Lakit
down
Beach.
at the over there, the very bottom.
The Rocky Beach,
The
I call
Rocky
it.
Beach.
It's
Yeah,
just a
we
bunch
went
of round
there
stones.
with family. So I feel like, you know. And then last night we took some of the kids in for dinner.
So you might have noticed I have a new piece of jewelry. I always say her niece, but it's really, I guess, our niece. I maybe need to start thinking of it that way. For some reason, I always call them her nieces, but my niece too, because we are married now. So Missy made me this. So she made it with my name. You know, this is some of the jewelry that, or the beads that we brought them as a gift that are going to be in one of the other videos. And so she made this for me. I am not a jewelry guy. I've never worn jewelry at all. I've never worn a necklace, a bracelet, other than my wedding ring. It's the only jewelry, and I guess a watch. But I actually like this, and I'm gonna wear it as long as I can, if it doesn't break on me.
Yeah.
It was just sweet that she made it for me,
And Darcy also made me one, but it's in the room.
Yeah.
Because like it's like a little bit tight. It's not like very tight, but it's a little bit tight that it makes my, you know, it hurts a little bit. But last night when we went there to just say goodbye to Darrell, she approached me and give the bracelet to me, and it says, the other side says mommy, because they call me mommy, and then the other side says my name, Melanie. So mommy Melanie. And maybe I will be spending time making bracelet with them, since, you know, I'll be there 24/7, and I don't know what we're gonna do there. But I'm planning to, like, you know, just stay in the house. I'm not going anywhere else. But I think one day there's a day that, you know, I'm going to a Naval to get something for my friend Nika, and also I'm gonna go check out the van that we're trying to, you know, because we're going Tacloban on Sunday, since our flight on Monday is too early, like 7:20. So I just want to make sure that they have a trip going there on Sunday, because most of the time here Sunday is like kind of the rest day. So like a lot of store are closed, like, you know, things like that. So I need to make sure that we have a van that we're going, or if not, then I'll tell Sister Darcy to, you know, to ask her friend. So I just want to make sure that everything is okay. And then on Tuesday we have a San Juan day, which is a lot of people going to, you know, places where they can swim. It's either Busay Falls, or it's either, like, you know, beach, waterfalls, or whatever. We're gonna spend time with all the family, get a swimming time. And I already told Darrell that it might be in Manila. It's different because there's like a bunch of people there on the side, and they're just like, you know, like, how do you say that? Showered you with water to make you wet. That's how people do.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah, that's how people do too sometimes.
Because you told me on Tuesday, don't be upset if someone sprays me with water.
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me of that.
I told them, because, you know.
You think that'll even happen in Manila? People do that in Manila?
I see a lot of people doing that in Manila too. So I don't know, maybe it's different there, but here that's what we do.
I doubt they'll do it to a Westerner. You think?
I don't think so.
If I'm walking down the street and someone sprays water on me,
yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me of that, because I look like that. I wouldn't react well. I mean, I guess it depends
how, if there's a lot of smiles and it's clearly done in fun.
Oh goodness, I need to use the bathroom maybe.
You got an emergency?
Yeah.
I'm normally one that gets those emergencies.
Yesterday I got a diarrhea. Got my tongue What do you say about this banana?
It's Filipino size.
If you know what that means,
If you know, you know.
you know, you know.
I only know because you told me.
No, because of my experience.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one. I think it depends. There's maybe like, like you guys, not really like all of you have maybe a big size. So it just depends on a person. If you got a big sizes, then so we have here the fish. This is from last night too, from dinner. I told her don't throw it away because I'm still gonna eat it because I don't want to waste food. But I don't think we're gonna eat them all. No? Because Daryl is not really like do you like the Filipino breakfast?
I like casino, which is a kind of sausage.
Mm-hmm. He really likes it.
What did you say this? This is some kind of
The
beef?
beef loaf.
Beef loaf?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's okay. It's not great. We got churros.
Chorizo, guys. Look,
Chorizo.
I'll show you.
Filipinos love them. I don't care for
Oh,
them.
it's
They're a little
that's
too
good.
sweet.
He don't like if you're too sweet. That's why I'm not too sweet to him
Yeah.
because he will not like it. So it's actually good. I don't know why he don't like it. Not really sweet. It's just. Yeah, I was impressed that he likes the chicken tocino. That's also sweet. That's a sweet chicken tocino.
That's chicken. For some reason, I thought casino was pork.
You can buy pork tocino. You
Oh.
can buy chicken tocino.
Okay.
It depends what meat do you like. So yeah, I was really impressed. Like after we get the dinner, and then this morning I was like, oh, this is good. We feel like we're living as a princess in.
Yeah. Yeah, like I started to say earlier, we'll show you around the island today. This is the kind of place that I really love, and I think she really loves, which is, it's not a tourist area. Come here in the off season, which is considered the rainy season. In fact, we were talking about that earlier. I think when people hear the rainy season, it scares people away, which can be a benefit for you because everything's a little cheaper during the rainy season, which is what, June to, what is the end of the rainy season?
There's gonna be June, July, August. It's gonna be a rainy season, like all the way down to December.
Yeah. But it's not rainy season, guys. Like I think we think, you hear, oh, rainy season in the jungle, in the tropics, it's going to be raining nonstop. It's just not like that. When we were here last year for 3 weeks, I think we had one day that we got kind of rained out.
Yeah.
Every other day was beautiful.
Yeah.
I kind of equate it to rain in Florida, where it'll be a beautiful day, but you might have a half hour of the downpour, and that's what it was like. We went to the waterfalls the other day, and we did get rained on a couple of times, but it was just little spurts, and then it was gone. And
So,
so,
like,
yeah,
So when we say summer, like summer, April, March, May, it's just like hard to rain. Like it's been always like every day it's hot. Every day it's hot. But then it's like June, July down to
yeah, you
December.
get cooler weather too. So
Yeah, we do.
you get better pricing because it scares everyone away, and it's actually more pleasant weather.
Yeah, but not like it's rain every day. It's like maybe like today it's nice, but tomorrow it will rain, and then the next day it's nice. So
Well-
it just depends.
Well, right now it's beautiful, but 2 hours from now there might be heavy rain. But right now it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
There are
just didn't
there's
know.
some clouds on the horizon, but nothing dark. They're just white clouds. So it looks like it's going to be beautiful. Yesterday was beautiful all day. In fact, I was really glad because we rode that ferry, and it's not a very big boat, and the sea was really calm.
I think that boat, on a rough sea it'd be rough. I'm sure there's got to be a lot of days they don't run those ferries back and forth if the sea gets too rough.
I mean, it's funny because that's what I've told you earlier. I made friends already. It's crazy.
Well, she makes friends very easy. Well, Filipinos, you guys make friends easy.
Uh-huh.
Well, you make friends easy with other Filipinos, not with. It's a lot harder for you to make friends with Americans.
American, I don't know. I just find it like hard to like connect with.
She's made a few American friends back home, people she works with
Yeah,
primarily.
I'm friends with my work, but not like
Yeah.
I have work
Well,
friends
and I mean, you are friends with my friends.
Yeah.
And that's a very good relationship. You really enjoy that. But as far as you going out, like making your own friends outside of your Filipino group, you have. But you have in the Filipino group, that's a pro and a positive, or pro and
Yeah,
a,
like-
a positive and a negative. Yeah, it's a positive because it's made you feel more at home, and it's really helped you in your transition. It probably has stopped you from connecting with other Americans because you kind of, you're already spending your time with your Filipino friends.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? Like back when I'm still living here in the Philippines, like a lot of my friends will always say that, I'm like sociable person, I'm like friendly person. But when I get to America, everything there like changed, like for not really like a long time, but maybe like I can say like 2 months, 3 months when I first got there.
It was longer than that.
Longer than that?
At
Okay.
least 6 months.
6 months. All right, let's say 6 months. But after that, I feel like I made a lot of friends in school. Like even if we don't work together in the classroom, even if they're just like working in the other side of other grades, I'm still friends with them.
Is there more coffee?
No more here.
That's all?
Yeah,
That whole container's gone?
yeah. They only bought us two.
You don't want this?
So yeah, and now I feel like I'm back to my Melanie personality, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Daryl makes me like feel confident. I don't know.
Oh, well, that was good. when you were like, Daryl makes me, I'm like, oh boy, where's this going to go? Because that's always such a bad thing. In America culture, oh, my man makes me. I thought you were like, I make you do something, but I make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, is that what's the
No, that's right.
Okay.
It's just when you said I make you do, I'm like, oh boy, how's this going to sound?
No, he like makes me like doing that self-confident back. So
Well, she's always been very self-conscious about her English. And I've really tried to encourage her that her English is very good. Sure, it's not perfect. Every thing is not exactly right, but she speaks better English than a lot of Americans. And her accent isn't real strong, so people can understand her. So,
Yeah.
But it's taken her a while. Filipinos in general are very, very shy about speaking English, and they can speak a lot better English than they think. But for whatever reason, it's in the culture. One of the things that she's kind of taught me is that, like, if you're walking around a town in the Philippines and you're trying to interact with the locals, and like maybe you're interacting with some kids, like last night where we went and got some barbecue, there were a bunch of kids there, and there's one little boy I was trying to interact with, excuse me, sorry, and if they try to speak English, you'll hear some of the other kids start to laugh.
laughing.
Well, I always kept thinking that they're laughing at me, or there's something they're laughing at. And she says, no,
No.
they're laughing at their friend trying to speak English. And I've really noticed that, particularly with the kids, but even sometimes with adults.
With adults, yeah.
I noticed that my very first visit here, when we walked by through your village and we met your aunt, and that old guy was out there playing the guitar,
Yeah, they were like
and he was trying to speak English.
hanging out and then drinking some tuba wine. Or
Yeah,
coconut
yeah,
wine.
and he was trying to speak English, and that's an older
His
guy.
buddies.
He's probably in his 60s, and his buddies were sitting there,
Like laughing.
and they're just laughing, and I'm thinking, oh, well, I guess they're laughing at me. And she said, no, that's not what it is. But it is something about their culture. It's like they speak English, but they're not confident in it, and it probably does come from that. Your peers always laughing at you every time you try speaking. We recently had an episode come out about young Filipinas liking older Westerners. It's the episode where Melanie was interviewing a couple of her batchmates back in the Philippines who also are dating older foreigners that are in age gap relationships. And needless to say, episodes like that get a lot of strong reactions. Some people are very supportive and, happy for you. But of course, there's also other people
just trying to maybe give you advice.
Yeah, give advice.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah, just honest observations, honest opinions.
And we love those because it means that they care about you, they care about us,
Right.
I mean, when you read it, it sounds like negative, but like for them, typing it, writing it, I don't think so. They're just trying to make you or give you advice or give their opinion, something like that. So yeah, we really appreciate you guys for giving your opinions. I mean, it's like...
And that's one of the reasons for the vlog is for people, obviously it's for us to share our story and our perspective and to hopefully encourage other people that are in similar circumstances. That's the whole reason we started this vlog, was to try to help other foreigner Filipina couples, other couples that are in age gap relationships, and other people who are in long distance relationships, because that's how our whole story started. So obviously it's partly to tell our story and hopefully help and encourage other people, but it's also for other people to express their opinions, whether you approve or don't approve. We're fine and open with that. I mean, calling names, isn't necessary, but honest conversation about the pros and cons of an age gap relationship is fair.
To us. Yeah,
completely fair. And obviously here in America, there's a lot more judgment, societal judgment on age gap than there is in the Philippines. In the Philippines, age gap relationships are very normal. I don't think they're frowned upon. I don't think they're judged anywhere near. I mean, maybe are they judged at all? I mean, do some people still judge it?
Well, some people still judge, but then most of the people that they just don't care because they're used to seeing those, age gap relationship there. So yeah,
I will say I've actually been impressed that I've not sensed or felt a lot of judgment from either our friends or family. I honestly haven't felt any judgment from our friends or family. Some of them may think among themselves.
Yeah, but
they never say anything, and they never make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they never. But I will say, even with strangers when we're out and about, of course, most of the time we don't even think about our age gap. I mean, it's not an issue to us at all anymore. So we go out and about, and we hold hands in public all the time, or I'll put my hands on her shoulders, and I don't even think about it. And I can say it's been pretty rare that I have felt like someone looking at us, judging us. Now, she's mentioned that she's noticed it more than I have, and you can share that, but I haven't felt it near as much as I thought I might.
Yeah, when we go somewhere else, people don't really say it to us you guys are in an age gap relationship, why are you doing that? She's a gold digger.
Nobody's ever said anything.
Nobody ever said that, but then the way how people judge her maybe is by looking at you, because some people I kind of having this side eye, they're looking at us, Daryl. So I feel that's how the way maybe they judge us. No, maybe not saying it, but then in their mind, what are they doing? Why are they maybe I'm not sure, but you know what? We don't care.
We don't care. I often say it's become one of my favorite sayings as I've gotten older is that there's a lot of downsides to getting old that we all know. But the one truly great upside of getting old is you just don't give a crap what other people think anymore. And I don't. Other than my immediate family, obviously I care what Melanie thinks, I care what my boys think, my mom. But beyond that, I really don't care what other people think. And it gives you a sense of freedom when you can get to that point. Because I did, when I was younger, I definitely cared way too much what other people thought and what society thought. And you know, when I look back at my life choices in my earlier years, in my 20s, I did everything the way the world said you're supposed to do it, and the way the church said you're supposed to do it. I was very religious. I grew up in a very religious family. I was very religious. I still consider myself religious, but not like in my earlier years where I was a deacon in my church and every day the door was open, you know, we were there. So, you know, when I look at the choices I made back then, you know, I married a white woman that was roughly my age. We were the same religion. We were, you know, the same social economical status. We were all the things you're supposed to be as far as being a match. And it didn't work out well at all. And, you know, and I look back and go, you know, all the judgment and everything that the world says you're supposed to do is not necessarily good advice. It's not always right. I don't even know if I've shared this with you, but I remember when I first moved to Virginia. I grew up in New York, near Buffalo. And when I first moved to Virginia, I was 17 years old, and I got a job at a restaurant here. And I worked with this young black girl named Regina. Her and I were roughly the same age. We were both still in high school. I was a senior in high school. I think maybe she was a sophomore in high school or something. And we worked the night shift together, so we worked together a lot. And I remember really liking Regina, and I remember pondering dating Regina. And of course, so that would have been in like 1984 or 5, somewhere in that area. And I remember really being concerned about, well, what are people going to think if I dated a black girl? You know, I mean, that's just not going to go over. Obviously, you know, it would be much easier now. And I actually did date a number of black women.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Like before, the racist is so bad.
Yeah.
But this generation is not anymore.
Yeah. And in between my 2 marriages, I did date black women in between. But I always found black women very attractive. I always found darker skinned women more attractive than white women. But I remember with the Regina contemplating that, and it was something I really was worried about, with what the world was going to think if I was to date Regina. And, you know, it's so refreshing to get to a point where I don't care. And I give Melanie a lot of...
Did you date?
Oh, no, I never dated. I don't know if she ever would have. I don't know if she was interested in me that way, you know.
You're just making...
It was just something I thought about. And but it's something I give Melanie a lot of credit for at a young age. Like, you know, she does not care what other people think at a very young age, where I did. I cared way too much. And you got to make your own choices in life, and letting, you know, other people dictate what you do and don't do is not a good way to live your life. So I would say that to kind of encourage other Western guys, if you're considering bringing a Filipina here to America and you're in an age gap relationship and you're concerned about how other people are going to treat you or societal judgment, that's been way less than I thought it would be. I was afraid there'd be a lot more judgment. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on your particular family and friends, and maybe the part of the country you live in and stuff like that. I don't know, but it hasn't been bad. You know, luckily my family has always been very open and welcoming, and I think really all my families wanted is to see me be happy, because they saw me go through some pretty tough years. And so them just seeing me happy, particularly my mom seeing me happy, is all my mom cares about. She cares at all, and she loves Melanie, and Melanie and her have a very good relationship. So don't let society help you make your decisions. It's supposed to be reasonably nice today. It does look a little windy outside, but I think it's supposed to be high in the 60s.
But it's like, is it raining?
We live in central Virginia, so it doesn't get real cold here, but we do get some cold weather. It's supposed to actually be really cold the next few days.
But freezing.
Highs in the 40s instead of the 50s and 60s.
The freezing.
My little Filipina, she can't handle that weather. It's funny because one of our biggest concerns before she came to America for both of us was how she was going to adjust to the colder weather, because obviously it's a lot warmer in the Philippines than it is here in Virginia. And I think you've had a little difficulty adjusting, particularly the first winter. But I think overall,
I'm pretty good about it. Like adjusting.
I think
the
overall,
weather.
the adjustment for the weather has been a lot easier than you expected. And we kind of shared in one of the early episodes we did that, she actually mentioned as one of the things she really likes about America is the 4 seasons. Because obviously they don't have 4 seasons in the Philippines. And that one of the reasons she liked the 4 seasons is she liked being able to dress differently at different times of year. And like in the winter, she really loves putting on her boots and her coats and her scarves. And so.
Yeah, it's nice that you have this different kind of outfit every season. It's just not about like in the Philippines, like you always wear like summer outfit because it's always hot in there, it's always warm in there, so you don't need to like wear something that makes you warm. But here, there are 4 seasons, so I kind of like it. Not only like I'm wearing shorts, now I can wear like something for cold to make you warm. So
Yeah, when she's back home, she wears pretty much nothing but flip-flops.
exactly. Now I have a lot of boots. I have different kind of shoes.
She'll come out sometimes if we're getting ready, if we're going to go out to have dinner, or particularly if we're going to like meet friends, she'll come out, show me her little outfit, and show her, what do you think of these boots, babe? Her coats and sweaters. It's been funny to watch the evolution, because she was really, really worried about that when she came. And honestly, I was worried about it. I was like,
yeah, I was not really expecting it. Like when my first year here in America, I wasn't expecting that I'm gonna be like pretty good in adjusting the weather here, because I'm telling you, like I'm not used to it, and that's the first thing that I always like complain here, like with Daryl, that what if I go there in America, it's gonna be too cold, and something like that.
well, luckily she came in March, so the winter was basically over. It was still a little chilly. I mean, it was chilly to her when she first got out. When I met her at the airport, I had a coat for her at the airport because I wasn't sure how she was going to deal with it. But obviously the winter was over, so she got to go through the whole spring, summer, fall phase before she had to face her first winter, which probably made it a little easier.
Yeah.
I think.
I think the March when I came here, it makes me like kind of experience the coldness
A little
bit. And when the winter comes for the next year, I mean, it's like pretty easy for me to adjust.
Well, and luckily by the time winter came, she had already made some Filipina friends who had been through that process before, and I'm sure they probably gave you a little insight.
Oh yeah, like we do shopping for like the clothing for winter. I cook breakfast for dinner today.
You cook breakfast for dinner?
I know. Sorry, I cooked breakfast for Daryl today because he's been good today. So I cooked him.
You guys can guess what that means.
They don't know what that means.
They don't know? Yesterday you said that you feel like you're being Americanized. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because like when we were in Philippines, the bathroom issue, the bathroom thing. When you get in the bathroom in the Philippines, some places they don't have like a toilet paper. And it's not like when I was living in Philippines, when I did not come here yet in America, I don't even care if there's a toilet paper, or if there's a toilet paper. I just don't care. And then like last year I was like, Mom, I miss America. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm looking with the toilet paper all the time. So that's
And it's funny because she never said anything about that when we were in the Philippines. And I would gripe about the bathroom situation. She never said anything, but then we got back here. And then yesterday she said, she'd gone out shopping, got some groceries and stuff. And she said, I think I'm getting Americanized. And I said, what do you mean by that? You know, one of my biggest gripes of the Philippines, I love the Philippines guys, but there are certain things about the Philippines that really wear on you. And the bathroom situation is definitely maybe the biggest one. It grinds on you after a while because you got to carry wipes with you everywhere you go. And I mean, you can be literally in a nice airport and walk into a bathroom and there will be no toilet paper, there'll be no bidet, there might not even be a toilet seat. Or you can go into an SM mall sometimes or a nice shopping plaza and there won't be anything. And it's a total jackpot as to what you're going to get when you walk into a bathroom. I've actually, the nicest bathroom I've ever visited was in the Philippines. So you have such a wide range, and it doesn't matter how nice a location you think you're in or how nice the restaurant you're in. It doesn't matter because you could walk into a bathroom with literally just a bucket and a bowl and no seat, no toilet paper, no bidet, no nothing. And you can go into an absolute place that looks like trash that's in the middle of the province, and at least there's a toilet seat and some toilet papers. So you just never know, and it wears on you after a while. You're like, oh my God, because you try to always remember to carry wipes, but sometimes you just forget, or you're in a hurry, or you walk out without it, and it gets compounded because, at least as Westerners, when we go there, every time I've been to the Philippines, I've had to deal with digestive issues, we'll just say, because if you accidentally drink the water or something, and so a lot of times you have bathroom emergencies, and then you walk in and there's...
Yeah, and then sometimes there's like a place there that you're not allowed to use a number to. So, you end up still using it because
What you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, how are you gonna stop yourself like doing number two, whatever? But yeah.
Yeah, the bathroom situation in the Philippines, there are certain things about the Philippines that just make zero sense. And that is certainly one of them. And it kind of grinds on you. I was kind of wondering, since this time this is the longest we ever gone in the Philippines, we were there almost 2 months, would those type of things, would you just kind of get used to them and they kind of fade away? Or would they kind of grind on you? And I think I found they kind of grinded on me. Little things like that.
Amazed or impressed with Daryl because he did not complain. I mean, he complained a little bit, but not every day. So yeah, that's why I don't want to complain too. Because yeah, that's what I said earlier. I feel like I've been Americanized, but when we were in Philippines, I don't want to complain anything because Daryl is even American. How much more him, He didn't even complain. So me, I'm Filipino, and I've been there before living in the Philippines, so I don't have the right to complain. So yeah.
Well, the other thing you mentioned yesterday about being Americanized was you went somewhere and had to wait in a line.
Oh yeah, the grocery, like a market, grocery store. Because here in Walmart, like if you live in America, when you go in a grocery store, you can do self-checkout, or like even you do a cashier, they're like faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the lines in the Philippines, it is something else. Grocery stores and drugstores. I don't know why drugstores, but the lines at those two locations are just crazy. And there were a couple times we went to the grocery store, one right towards the end of when we were in Manila, we were getting ready to come home. And we were trying to get some things to eat on the plane. And I don't know how long we stand in that line, and they had a seniors line that was a lot shorter, and I tried to stand in that, and she said, "Oh, they're going to ID you because I guess you're a senior there."
Yeah, you need to be 60 years old.
60, and I'm 58, so I don't quite qualify. I never wanted to be 2 years older so bad in my life as that, and I'm like, oh.
I asked him, maybe you're 58, you're not 60, so we went to
It
that.
didn't have the age, it just said seniors. I'm like,
Yeah, they normally like want you to show your ID. Like, hey, show your ID if you're really like 60 years old. But maybe
I wonder if they'd ask me as a foreigner. You know, I think you think they'd be a little shyer. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't. I don't know.
I want my husband
she was-
60 years old.
Well, it's going to happen in a couple of years.
Well, I know, but not that time.
But it was funny. She was talking about the lines. Because actually, when we got back here, when we get groceries, I mean, yesterday she went by herself, but we normally go together. And we go to Aldi's, and I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to an Aldi's. It's kind of a unique shopping experience, but it's almost all self-checkout. There's only one line. And I mean, you're just in and out of there so fast and the checkout process is so quick. And it's like, when we first time went to Aldi's, when we got back, we were like, didn't you miss this? And she was like, yeah, I kind of did.
Well, the difference in Philippines is like, for example, you go to a drugstore, there's only 2 cashiers and there's no self-checkout or anything. It's just 2 cashiers. So if there's a lot of people, then you don't have choice but to wait until, people are done checking out. But here in America, there's like a lot of self-checkout machines.
Well, and it's funny because, in America, there's been this real backlash in recent years about self-checkout. That Americans are like, I shouldn't have to do their job. It's their job. It's a typical Americans bitching about everything. And I want to say, I love self-checkout. And you can tell some of these people have never been to another country when they bitch about things like that in America, because it's like, go to another country where there is no self-checkout and wait in line for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then see what you think.
Yeah. That's the reality.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when I hear Americans whine about things like that, I'm like, you need to travel. Let me get you a passport.
Give them money. Yeah. They don't see what really likes in another country, like how American people or how white people are so lucky, foreigners are so lucky to have that kind of self-checkout. Because we don't have that opportunity there in Philippines. I wish we have. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, like, if we're gonna have a self-checkout there, then we don't need a cashier anymore. We don't need an employer anymore, that's gonna be sad because people there in Philippines, we need like work there in Philippines, because if you don't have work, then it's gonna be hard life for you. So I don't think.
No, they'll find,
maybe in the future.
They'll find something else. I mean, it will go there. I mean, it's just like.
Slow.
It's just slow. We commented once when we were in the Philippines. I can't remember if it was on a video we did or not, but about how the Philippines really is like America. It's just 30 years behind. And I think it was when we were talking about discipline in the schools, like the discipline in the schools, is getting lighter there. Well, it got lighter here 30 years ago. And the other way I equate how the Philippines, it's the same as America. It's just further behind as far as the timing as the malls. The Philippines has got a real mall culture where the malls is the big deal. Everyone wants to go to the malls. You go to the malls, they're crazy busy on the weekends. And that's the way America was in the 80s and 90s. And, we've kind of moved past the mall thing, but, there, it's all about going to the mall, particularly the young people. And it's exactly what it was like when I was young. And then the credit cards, it's only been 6 years since my first time going to the Philippines and now. And there's a big advancement in how often you can use a credit card there. Now, still in the province, you really can't much. But in the major cities, you can use it almost all the time now. Where before, even in the big cities, it was hit and miss. It was, you might have a 50-50 chance of being able to use a credit card. And so I've definitely noticed that in advancement in the last 6 years. So it will advance. It's just everything seems to take longer and slower in the Philippines.
So there's part in Manila, like we always like stayed. They call it Newport. Is it Newport? That's really like, we just talked about that yesterday again, about like how nice that place is, because it's a mix, like hop, like in this side is, like maybe rich
It's
people can, yeah,
modernized, right?
modernize, and then the other side is like where the local people live, like where the local restaurant is, the local store and everything. And we love that we can, we can go on that side and we can go on the other side, which is like
Yeah,
fulfilling,
I really
guess.
like that too. I don't know how we got on that subject yesterday, but we were talking about. I talked about when she was home in Biloran, and I spent a week in Manila by myself. I spent time in the Mall of Asia area, which is a very modern area, very clean, it's just very westernized. But I didn't like it at all because it was just too clean, I guess. It was just too corporate feeling, I guess. It just didn't feel like I was in the Philippines at all. And although it was super nice and the traffic was real light and they had the casinos, which I love, and there were a lot of things to like, but it just was, I don't know, I couldn't tell whether I was in the Philippines or in any major city in the US. It didn't feel any different. But in Newport, I like because they do have the modern area but you can literally walk just a short distance and you go into a local area. So if you want to go get the street foods or you want to get Canderia or, anything like that, you can walk right there. And I kind of enjoyed that kind of the mixture because, I do like the Philippines and I kind of like the rustic part of the Philippines. What do I've called it in the videos, gritty charm. I call it the gritty charm. It's certainly not fancy in a lot of the Philippines, but there is a certain charm to how gritty and kind of grimy it is. In Newport is kind of nice because you kind of feel like you can get a little bit of both, but you can come back to your room and have air conditioning and a hot shower and all those things that, us Westerners kind of feel we need. But
Yeah. So that's like really our go-to place to stay.
they're both beautiful inside and out. And I think that's why, and I think that's probably true of most provincial women. Unless you find a scammer who's just looking for somebody for money. But I don't, the whole scammer thing, I don't have any experience in that, so maybe I shouldn't even speak to it. I got quite fortunate and found Melanie kind of by accident, and so I was never on any of the dating apps, and so I don't have that experience. I've certainly seen the videos, people talking about the scammers and the gold diggers, but my experience has been that most provincial Filipinas are just good-hearted women that just want a good man. If you have a few dollars, sure, obviously that's a plus. That's a plus here, just like it is in America. But I don't think that's their main motivation. Most of them, as long as you can provide something to eat and you can provide a house, and it doesn't have to be a big house like you're thinking. I haven't sensed that. What is your experience with like college girls or your other friends? Do you find a lot of people who are really hunting for foreigners? And it's fine they're looking for a foreigner if it's out of pure love. They're looking for like a real relationship.
It depends to the person. Like some person like just taking advantage of a foreigner because a lot of Filipinas like think that a foreigner like is rich, that they can afford like
they assume we're all rich.
Yeah, because like most of the Filipinos like wants to travel, so they wants to have like someone with them to like pay for their fare and everything, for the food and for the hotel and things like that. It just really depends on Filipina. If like some Filipino will like look for a foreigner because they want to just get their being like if they're poor, they just want to be like.
But what's your experience? Have you know a lot of girls like that you went to school with or anything, or would you say that's a lot of the girls, or is that pretty rare?
I'm not really sure. I've never. I have a friend. She is a foreigner before I meet Darren.
My name's Daryl.
No, I should have said husband. So I know you're, but I'm trying to like, yeah. So I have a friend that, and then they got two kids together, and I don't know if she's in love. I can't really tell if she's in love. Maybe she is. I don't know. I'm not gonna like. I don't know, guys. I think it depends on the person, but most of the time they're taking advantage of the of the foreigner.
Oh, you think most of the time they are?
Most of the time they are.
No. I'm surprised to hear you say that. That's why it's good to have these conversations, because sometimes we have these conversations and your perspective is a lot different than I expect.
Thanks.
Well, that's good. They need to know that. I think I just got real lucky the first time.
So you're just gonna be like careful, because when we first date Daryl, when we first like dated, like just chatting, you will know if the Filipino will really like love you not for your money, really love you for who you are, even if you don't give money or anything. If the Filipino will not gonna ask you money, but especially if your first time like texting each other. I've never like asked Daryl money unless if it's like when I need to get my passport, when
Yeah, I mean, well into the relationship, when we were,
that's the time that
we were working, getting you to America.
Yeah.
She didn't ask me for money at all. And of course, I was always wondering, waiting, because that was going to be a huge red flag if she did. And I think that's the single biggest thing, is if all of a sudden they start telling you about some sob story, which may be true or it may not, and they want money, then you got to be really careful. But she never did that.
Yeah, or there might be like something that they ask for money at first, but most of the time that if they ask money, they will keep asking money all the time. So that's like a big no. Just
Yeah, it's interesting because her and I have talked about this, that to me a giant red flag was going to be if she ever asked for money. She never did. And so the relationship kept moving forward. If at any point she had asked for money, when obviously it was too early, too premature, after we'd met and were working, getting to America, obviously I helped cover the costs of all that stuff. I mean, there's no way she could do that, or it wouldn't even be right for me to expect her or her parents to do that. That would have been a red flag, and it would have either ended the relationship or at least put a pause on it. To her, the red flag she kept waiting for, wondering what's going to happen, is if I was ever going to ask for nude pictures of her. And I never did. And you can talk about that, but she said that she kept expecting or waiting to see if I'd ask for nude pictures, because she'd had other foreigners hit her up before I did, and that it turned to nude pictures real quick.
Yeah, like I have like a lot of like foreigners that asking me for a friend request on Facebook. And then the first thing, so we've been like chatting and everything, having this conversation. And then at the end, they will ask, can you send me nude pictures, like, showing my whole body? I was like, what the? No. So I'll like block them. So, yeah, and then I found him. You already know our love story. Send me a friend request, and we like having conversation for like for a long time until he planned to visit Philippines, and he never ever asked me nude picture, even like if he came here or if he already came here.
To this day, you've never sent me a nude picture.
No,
I've never asked for one.
No, he never. Even like when we first met, like we already making love at that time. But never ever, even if, when he get back to America, never ever asked for nude pictures at all. So that's why I was like, oh, this is foreigners.
So I guess the story for you guys is, don't ask her for nude pictures if it's somebody you're really interested in, because as far as red flag, for at least for a good Filipina. Now, of course, if you ask for pictures and she sends them, that is a sign to you that, you're probably not the first one she sent them to. So
yeah, plus, I think I'm just like lucky with Daryl, because I'm not like a picky person. The thing in a man that I want is I don't want someone who smoke. So I like ask, even in my ex-boyfriends before, I always like ask them, oh, do you smoke? Because if you smoke, I can't be with that person, but you know, he didn't smoke, so now I think the good thing is like if the person, if none in your person is smoking, it's like a healthy lifestyle or like a healthy relationship. I don't know, just for me. So that's why that's my main thing.
So I could have asked for nudes. As long as I didn't smoke, it'd been okay.
No, that's the two. No asking for nude and no smoking. That's the two main thing for me. For me, I know it's different from other Filipina, but for me, that's the two main thing that I need to, like a green. This is gonna be a red flag for a man if I'm gonna date him. You know, so.
Before the sandbar. So we got to find something to do for the next 2 hours. We'll find something to do. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then,
I'll put this one here.
so we'll go to sandbar at low tide, and then we're going to explore the rest of the island. We'll see if we can find Rick the Australian.
And some biberoonies.
We'll see if we can find some baby-roonies to send you a picture of.
Mm-hmm.
That's a call out. That's call out to the regular guy, one of my favorite Philippine vloggers.
Yeah, I hope we can meet regular guy here.
Someday, yeah. I don't think we will on this trip, but maybe someday. I think the regular guy. I love his vlog. I think he's very, very funny.
Yeah, but yeah, if we see a biberonis, we're gonna not send it to you, but we'll post a picture. Darryl will like post a picture in our video. And then
I'll do a freeze frame like the regular guy does.
and see what you think if
Yeah.
they really are gorgeous or something like that.
Yeah,
they're
we'll try to do that.
All right, we're hunting a biberonis too.
Oh, hopefully we can find that girl from well, she didn't want to be filmed though.
Yeah, she don't want to be.
That
She's
girl,
so shy.
Oh my gosh, she was so good looking though. I was like, man. Well, the funny thing was, so she was telling her, boy, you are so beautiful. And she was so shy, she started hiding her face. And that's what you want, guys, is a shy, beautiful girl like that. Not a girl who knows how beautiful she is. And so she's like, babe, don't you think she's gorgeous? I said, yes. I said, Western men would love her. And there was a guy sitting next to her that I didn't know if it was her brother or what, because they weren't being affectionate at all. And come to find out, it is her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And I said, good job, buddy. And I gave him a high five. Because I think he felt a little awkward. I said, good job. I gave him the high five. And I think he felt a little better. But
and I think that's her mom that's saying, why are you hiding your face? You're in the camera. Show it.
well,
the girl is still like kind of like covering her face.
The interesting thing was, so one of the other mothers that was sitting there, while we're sitting there talking, and she's talking to the beautiful girl and her mom and all that, the woman closest to me, she hands me her phone, and she had video chatted her daughter.
Which is like, I feel like that's weird.
And so and she was gorgeous. And I said, well, where are you? And she said, well, that's my mom. And she said she was in Jordan. So I wasn't sure if she meant Jordan, the country, if she's there working.
She's working, yeah.
I kind of assumed that's what it was, but her English wasn't real strong, so we were having a hard time communicating. But I thought it was funny that her mom was trying to connect me with her daughter.
Like she didn't even ask Daryl, do you want to talk to my daughter, whoever it is in the camera? Or like even ask me, can my daughter talk to your husband? She just like, here. Hold the phone. It's like, what is she doing? Like in my mind, what is she doing? And so like Daryl started talking to that girl in the camera. I was like, but that was fine to me. I mean, they're just trying to be like friendly. Yeah. They're just happy that maybe they see a foreigner here.
If you come over here, the moms will hook you up with their daughters.
With their daughters.
So.
Yeah, she was really shy. Because you know, I kept telling me, why are you shy? You're so gorgeous. You're so pretty. But apparently it's not working, so she's kept hiding. Yeah. You know.
And I was getting a lot of smiles. I'll tell you that too. I was getting a lot of smiles.
But you know what? Like it's just not really like a lot of Filipinas here. It's like coming out. It's just like maybe a few, but you know, they're gorgeous. But if you really want to see like a lot, you can go visit the Naval Biliran, where there's like a university there, because you will see a lot of Filipina, and you know they're gorgeous too. They're like from different places. Like some of them are Higatanan, some of them are in Leyte, some of so.
Yeah, anyone who's going to that university, they're going to be provincial girls.
Provincial girls.
because Naval is a small city. I mean, it's quite small. It's not very big.
But that's the main town.
But it is the main town in this part of Leyte. So anyone that's going to school there is going to be from Villaran, from northern Leyte,
from here.
or from an island like this, or maybe Mary Pee Island.
Pee Island.
Some of the more remote islands. Anyone that goes there, so they're gonna be a good provincial woman, which would always be my advice, is to find a good provincial woman over a city girl. But I don't know. I was stunned yesterday. I was like, boy, there are some pretty girls on this island, and so that's another tip for anyone who might be interested.
I told Daryl he can switch me. He has the option, but I don't know.
I'm very content with.
He said he's very content. I'm not sure.
I like to look. I mean, I like to look. I mean, I don't. Any man likes to look at a pretty
So
woman.
we're like making fun because he'll be going first in Manila and I'll be spending time here in Kawayan, Biliran for another week. And then he kept teasing me that I'm going to meet these girls and things like that. And I said, yeah, it's fine, go, meet them. But inside of me, no, it's like, no.
No. So today is my last day on Biliran. I'm leaving, going to Manila, and Melanie's going to stay here for the next week. That's for a couple reasons. One, I can only stay out here for about a week, and I start to go stir crazy. I mean, once we kind of do all the tourist stuff and do all the stuff with our family, which we've done, and it's been great, I just can't. There's not anything else to do. It's not like I can hang out at a Starbucks or anything like that. So I'm going to go to Manila, and I'm going to spend some time there. I've never spent any time in Manila other than after landing, using it as a place to start the trip and end the trip. But it also gives Melanie time with her family, where she can stay there and be there 24/7, where she doesn't feel like she has to entertain me and coddle me. And because she does feel like whenever we get here, she kind of admitted that the other day, because I said something about that, well, you won't have to take care of me. And I think she thought I meant it like in a bad way. I didn't mean it in a bad way, but when we get here, like, she feels the need to take care of me and make sure I'm okay, which takes away from her with her family, and I know that. And so I know she needs time alone with her family where she can stay there. But I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to have spend time with my family, especially with my mom and dad. Because every time we visit them, it's just we talk just a little bit, but I want to sit down, or I want to experience again eating all together with the kids, with my sister. I don't know. I feel like it's good for me.
Well, we were talking when we woke up, and we were still in bed. She said, we're going to be LDR again for a week. I hadn't thought of it that way. We were LDR, for 3 years prior to her moving to America. And I guess we did do another 1 week LDR last year. Last year, to accomplish what we did, she came a week before me. And so she was a week here, a week with her family, and then I showed up. And then, so she still spent 2 weeks with her family, and I was here. Of course, the downside of that is we're both traveling alone on that long flight. So this year we decided to travel together, and then I'll just buzz off somewhere for a week. But so we're going to be LDR the next week, and I told her she's going to miss me terribly, and she's not sure.
No, I will missing you.
I told her, I think I surprised her. I told her this morning, I said, I'm actually a little scared. I said, I've never traveled the Philippines without having her, again, other than just time in and out of Manila. Because when I first came here to meet her, well, I didn't come here, well, that's complicated. I kind of did come here to meet her, but that wasn't the original point of the trip. You know, I spent 2 nights in Manila adjusting to the time change for the jet lag, but then I came here and got her, and then, so every time I've been here, she's always been with me, and so she's been a bit of a crutch for me in that if I need if I need someone to talk to the Filipinos in their language, hey, go do this, go do that, and then, you know, I don't have to worry about it myself. Plus, it helps avoid some of the foreigner tax where you get overcharged for everything because you got white skin. So, but yeah, I'm actually a little nervous about it. I'm excited too, but I am a little. I'm like, huh, how am I gonna navigate all this by myself?
Yeah.
You don't have much to say this morning.
Do you want me to go with you in Tacloban?
No, man, I'll be okay.
Are you sure?
No, I'll be fine.
The lizard is making sound again.
I don't think that was a lizard. I think that was a bird.
Maybe it's a lizard. That's a lizard sound.
Okay.
The small one.
The lizards do make some loud noises at night.
Yeah, that's the big one. Like it kind of like big like this.
When we got here, the first night, it was dark. I tried to videotape it. In fact, I never went back to see if it came out. But there was a giant lizard on this window. I mean, it had to have been this long. But it was so dark, I don't think the video would have caught it.
Yeah.
And of course, as I was trying to video him, he scampered off. But normally, they often have these little lizards that you'll see everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I remember on our first visit here, literally within the first couple of days of this meeting, they had festival in their town, and we went to her aunt's house to have dinner. And you know, it's a very you'd have to experience a festival here to understand, but it's a very festive atmosphere. The entire town's having a festival, and people are wandering around. Mm-hmm. So we're in her house, and I'm meeting her aunt. I'm meeting all these family members and all these other people, and it was a bit overwhelming. But I do remember walking in, and there were little lizards on the ceiling. There was 3 of them. There was one in the ceiling and 2 in the wall, different walls, just sitting there. And everybody else is acting like this is just normal. Like lizards are on the wall all the time. And I was like, wow. And you don't even notice them, do you?
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
And he didn't even tell me. So.
No, I didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a big deal in someone's home and make it. But what the hell are these lizards doing on the wall?
We have that in the house too, but like sometimes they're hiding, you know. Like it freaked us out if we see like that big lizard, because you never know, it will jump on you or it will, you know. So we're scared also of that. But most of the time you will see here a lot of like just a small one, like, you know, a baby lizard. They're just so cute. They're always like on the ceiling or sometimes on the wall. And then I think that 2 days ago, you know, when I took a shower, there's like a tiny lizard like roaming around the shower, and I tried to make him wet, but it's still not, like, it's just like getting around and around, and you know, I'm just like scared, freak me out, because I don't want that lizard to like get on my, you know, like it, because it will stick, it will stick in your, that's what they said.
Oh, really?
And you can, it's hard to get it off in your skin. I don't know.
Well, probably because they kind of grip.
Yeah.
They probably grip you for their own
So
life.
that's, but I've never experienced having that. But yeah, that's what people said. So as long as I can, I wanna like be away with that lizard.
Out here in Belarang, they often have brownouts on Sundays. Maybe is it one Sunday a month, or I mean, I think it's, you never know for sure, but I think it's roughly one Sunday a month, right?
Or like most of the time, every Sunday, if they're like, you know, repairing something.
Is it every Sunday?
Like
Most Sundays?
like sometimes.
Oh.
I guess sometimes.
Well,
But if there's like a typhoon, then you'll expect like, you know, a week or like 3 days burn out or something like that. But if like the weather is nice, if, you know, it's like a season that is like a nice weather, and then we just gonna have like a burn out if like the bilico, we call the bilico is our power line here. The bilico like have something to fix, you know, so they let us know that, oh, Sunday it's gonna be no lights, no power, or even or Saturday, it depends. So yeah.
well, I'm not talking about sporadic outages due to weather. I'm talking about scheduled brownouts where they
Sometimes
on Sundays they often schedule 12 hours with no power from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. How many Americans would freak out if the power company says you're not going to have power for 12 hours? But it's pretty normal out here. And luckily we kind of planned for yesterday to be a rest day anyhow, so we were staying here anyhow. We did have dinner with her family last night, but other than that, and I said goodbye to her last night, but other than that, we didn't really go anywhere. It's one thing that we're doing much different on this vacation than last year. Last year we were moving constantly, going constantly for 3 weeks, and we had a blast and we saw a lot. We crammed a lot into a short period of time. But I will say, by the end, we were so exhausted that we said we're going to try to do it different. And of course, this is my first year retired, so I can take more time. But we decided this year we're going to have some rest days where we just don't do much of anything. And it's kind of nice, don't you think? I mean,
I feel like we don't feel rushed, you know, we don't feel like we need to do this, we need to go to that place. It's just like, you know, go with the flow. This trip.
Well, my vacations, my whole life, were go, because you were trying to cram as much as you could in 2 weeks. I used to do these vacations with my boys after my divorce, where I would take them on baseball vacations. My boys all love baseball, and we would tour Major League Baseball parks, and we would do, you know, a certain region of the country, and they were a blast. But I'll tell you what, I was beat when it was over because, you know, none of my kids were old enough to drive then, and it was all on me. And we were in we did a tour of the West Coast. So we started in Seattle. We did the Seattle team. We did the San Francisco teams, the LA teams, the San Diego team, and ended the trip in Phoenix. And then I also tried to make it kind of an educational thing where every day we would go to either a historical site or we would go to like a national park or something like that. So on that one, obviously, we did a lot of national parks because there's so much of that on the West Coast. And so we were gone 2 weeks, 24 days, I think it was. We only once spent 2 nights in a hotel. Every other night it was one night at a hotel. We move on to the next place. And I love those memories. I think my boys cherish those memories. I certainly cherish them. But I do remember at the end of that trip being so exhausted that I was just about ready to keel over by the time we got home. And of course, my boys, they don't think anything of it, and you know, and of course, they don't have to do any of the planning or anything, you know, any of the driving or anything. But it is, you know, this is the first time in my life that I've ever taken kind of the slower pace. So we're still early in on this vacation, but we'll see. But so far, I like it.
Like we're trying to Daryl and I have like a rest day, you know, like after maybe like if we go to Iloilo, if we go somewhere else, like if we go around Iloilo or if we go to the beach or or if they have waterfalls. And we're gonna make sure that there's like a day. We're gonna get a day that is like our rest day. So we're not like, like overwhelmed. Is that the word? I don't know, but yeah. I feel like it's nicer.
Yeah,
It's very-
I'm never quite sure how to take your dad, because some of it I don't know is cultural differences. Some of it might be just his personality. And, that is one of the things about dating someone or being married to someone from a different culture. In some ways, it makes you more patient because you don't immediately judge everything because you realize that the way you're viewing it might not be right. It could be totally wrong. It could just be totally a cultural difference. But like when I said my goodbyes, when I went up to their house and said my goodbyes, her dad was sitting on the couch, and when I came into the room, or when we came into the room, he didn't get up and greet me or shake my hand or anything. He just stayed on the couch, and then we kind of said our goodbyes to everybody, and he stayed on the couch. Didn't get up and shake my hand and say goodbye.
I don't think Dad understand that part there because we didn't really tell that, oh, Daryl is leaving. I just asked my dad if we can take the kids out for dinner.
Oh.
I think that's what he thinks.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't get up. Maybe if you tell me that, maybe I should have told my dad.
Well, I don't, like I said, I try not to judge it too much. I'm like, it could just purely be a cultural thing. In America, if you're saying goodbye to somebody, particularly it's a goodbye like they're gonna be gone for a long time, you would get up and say goodbye, and at least stand up, shake their hand, or something. But he just sat there and laid back, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he understands the part that you're leaving.
Yeah.
And it's my fault because I didn't tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't make a big deal of it. I mean, I obviously noticed it, but I like I said, I try not to make too big a deal of things that, like if an American did that, like if you were American and your American dad acted like that when we were getting ready to leave their house, that would be very insulting. That they wouldn't even put the effort to stand up and say goodbye. But in this case, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to make a bigger deal out of it than it is.
You see, Daryl really like a big change to himself. Like he's so patient and he's, I don't know. I just can't even explain.
Well, I was actually sharing with her, I think it was last night.
Last night.
I think when we were talking over, when we were at Philly's having dinner, that we were talking about, and we're going to do a whole video on this, so we won't get into this too much, but we were talking about the cultural difference that we've struggled with the most, which is sending money back home. And it's something that we've really had to work on. But I was telling her last night when we were discussing that whole situation, I said, I think that being married to a foreigner, I know you call us foreigners, but obviously you're a foreigner to me. Someone being married to someone from another country, another culture, in some ways has made me a better person in that it's forced me to be more patient. It's forced me to be more understanding because things aren't always the way I think they are. When you're dealing with someone from your own culture, it's pretty obvious when you're being insulted, when you're not being insulted, because you're from the same culture. When you're dealing with someone from a different culture, you always have to sit back and go, this may not be what I think it is. Because in the 6 years that we've been together, there's been so many times that I thought something was one thing, and I find out later it was completely different. I was completely wrong. The way I interpreted it was completely wrong because I was interpreting it through Western eyes. And so it has made me more patient because I have to be. If I want to have a successful relationship, I can't judge everything the way I would as an American. So that kind of naturally makes you a little more patient because you're like, okay, let me sit back and not overreact to this. Because that's what I was telling her yesterday, is that And some of it's probably just getting older or wiser, but certainly when I was younger, I was much more, all right, this is the way it is. This is the right way. And there's a right way and a wrong way, and it's clear what's right and what's wrong. And you know, when just getting older, you realize it's not always that clear. But definitely when you're married to someone from a different culture, it's not always as clear what black and white, because our interpretations of things are very, very different. So, well, I remember when Melanie and I were still just dating. I mean, we might have been engaged, but it was certainly before she came to America. She would get sad sometimes about her dad in particular, but I think a little bit both mom and dad, is because they never really communicated verbally with Melanie about, you know, that, like, they don't say I love you, they're not real encouraging with their words. And you know, Melanie definitely, you know, love language is verbal affirmation. So that was always hard on her. And I really tried to encourage you with your dad, because back then I was like, you know, I'm sure your dad loves you, and I'm sure your mom loves you. It's just they're probably not verbal about it. They show it in other ways. They show it in providing for you and providing acts of service to you, and you know, they show it. And I think you've come around to that, because you used to be really sad about that, but I think you started to realize, yeah, okay, mom and dad they're not the.
Yeah, you told me that you're the one who kind of.
And you feel that was true, or that?
Understand it to me. But you know what, baby? When we left, my sister Marcy, the other day, I said the other day, or just a couple of days ago. It's my first time I see my mom kiss us.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
I know. She kissed my sister Marcy on the cheek. That's why Sister Marcy said, Melanie, did mom kiss you? Because she didn't expect that. I mean, we hugged, you know, we hugged something, but not really like kiss like smile. She kissed Sister Mercy, she kissed the baby. I don't think Gerald, she did. She kissed to me because, you know, I just hug her and then I'm supposed to do like that, but then I can feel that her lips is on my cheek now. I was like, But I just blessed my dad.
What else did you tell them about your life in America?
But my work, they're asking the kids, and I said the kids there is different from here. Like I told them, on the first day of my work, I was crying, and they asked me, "Why are you crying?" Because there is this one kid telling me inappropriate words, like harsh words to me. So I ended up crying, and they were like, "Really? Like how tall we are?" I was like, "I think it's like a good 6 kids here in Philippines, kindergarten like high." You know Darcy? Darcy is like kindergarten in America.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like
And Darcy's what, 3rd grade?
No, she's in 5th grade.
5th grade.
Yeah.
So a 5th grade in the Philippines is about the same size as the kindergarten.
Yeah, that's what I was like. And then my mom and my dad and Nina like shout like, "Oh, really?" And how about like their behavior? And I said, "Oh my goodness, you can't deal with them." I mean, if you're really like strict person, like you are a structured person that you need to do this, you don't need to do like that, then kids will follow you. But if you're just very kind, they will take advantage of you. They don't listen to you. So there you need to be strict. Because here, if you're a teacher, but you know what, nowadays, like a lot of kids here also is the same as American kids now.
Yeah, that's
Because
good.
before, like in my generation, when I was 1st grade, if I did something wrong, the teacher can still discipline you.
Right.
But now they can't anymore, because if you discipline them, the parents will get upset, and then it will just make a chaos.
It is amazing how the Philippines is becoming just like the Western world, just slower than the Western world. Because when I was growing up, we still had discipline in the schools. You could get a spanking.
I did spanking. I did spank with when I have this. If you have a long nails, and you don't have, it's not very short, the teacher will gonna spank it with the stick, like hit it with the stick. And then if you can, if you have a question, or like if the teacher asks you a question and you can speak, the teacher will get this spicy thing, the chili, and they will put it in your lips, and like at the end of the day you feel like your lips is like that potted. Yeah.
So they would put chili in your lips because you were talking, or because you weren't talking?
Because you're not listening.
Oh.
And she's asking you question.
And you're not responding?
And you're not responding to her. You're not speaking to her. So it means you're not listening to her. Yeah. And then if you keep on like walking, the teacher will get this eraser and then throw it at you. I remember I have a lot of classmates. My teacher in first grade or in second grade when I was elementary, did that a lot. And then, you know, in male, like in boys, they have like a proper haircut. And then if you have like a long hair, it's not a haircut it's not a proper haircut. And the teacher will get a scissors.
It's gonna cut it? Wow.
And cut it for you. And then so you end up like getting a nice haircut when you get home, because you already have this thing right here that was cut, you know, this side cut. Yeah, so, but now you can't do that anymore. So I remember I've been.
Well, there's no doubt that young kids need discipline and structure, and unfortunately, you know, all societies are moving further and further away from. Obviously, you don't want abusive kids, but there needs to be some structure, or else they'll run all over top of you. And unfortunately, America's gotten really terrible. I mean, it's, you know, all discipline's been taken out of the schools.
That's the kids in America. You can't discipline them because the parents are gonna sew you or something like that.
They're gonna sew you. Sue you? Well, I mean, they can sew you too. That sewing might be worse than getting sued.
But yeah, I remember in my generation elementary, it was hard. I have a lot of classmates that, you know, well, you need to really study hard. And then if you forget to answer the assignment, then they're gonna let you do the squat. For like squat, like doing like that. We did that. Like that, and then you do like that.
Oh, you gotta go like that?
With the things like that here. You go like that, the heels up.
The heels up, and you gotta just for
like a 30 minutes or like
you
it
can't
depends.
do that for 30 minutes.
And then, or maybe like.
So you would have to do that if what would happen? Why would they do that to you?
So, you know, the teacher gave us homework, and then the next morning we're gonna pass the homework to the teacher, and then if you don't have an assignment or an homework, then that's your prize. Wow. And then if you have like a lot of, I don't know, sometimes they put books over your arm, makes it more heavy. And then I experienced it. I was like shaking already, like I was like shaking like that baby, because it's really hard.
What grade were you in?
I think I was like first grade, second grade, third grade, until I get to fifth grade. I got all that discipline going on.
Well, that gives me ideas on how I can discipline you when you misbehave.
No, I'm always good at school. I just only have like maybe 2 times or 3 times. Unlike my other classmates that they're really not.
Whenever you start to misbehave, I'm going to bring a pile of books in and I'll set them on the table. This is a warning.
I'm not a kid anymore. So yeah, I don't know, it's a lot. Oh, I remember also one of she's not my classmate, but you know, in where I grew up, in where I went to in elementary, so first grade and second grade, it's a combined classroom, so we called it multi-grade classroom. So this so I was in second grade, I think, or third grade. But this lower grade, she's my friend, and you know, I can't say that she's dumb, but I think she is. I think she is. Because every time like the teacher asks her a question, she just don't know, even like, especially in math. So, you know, the teacher, okay, go, come up here in the board and then write the answer. So she read the wrong answer, and so the teacher got mad, and then, like, you know, the teacher hold the girl's hair and then, like, bump it on the board, the white
Bump their
board.
head on the
Yeah,
board?
like that. So this is the board, and then the teacher hold the hair and you do like that like 3 times.
Like hard or?
Not really hard.
But-
It's just like a light, you know. And sometimes you do like, we call it Bon Jovi, like they do like that.
Do what? What is it? Like tweak the
Here,
ear?
yeah, tweak the hair. I'm gonna do it too. But there's a sound in it.
Okay.
My brother Michael know that they're gonna twist it and then they're
Oh.
gonna do
Oh.
like that, and it's really hard because there's like a sound
It
that
pops in your ear, yeah.
yeah, it's